Hey everybody, welcome to episode 3, technically, of the wrestling podcast. This is Mr. Lucha. You might notice that the name is a little bit different on the channel, as well as my personal nom de plume. That's because I'm doing a bit of a revamp. The two videos are going to stay up as they were, because I think they're valid videos. I think the opinions I shared in them were valid, but I'm doing a little bit of a relaunch. I know it's been a while since my last video, so I wanted to rectify that. But yes, I'm going to be plugging through YouTube and Tumblr. So if you have any questions, the link in the description below to the Tumblr, you can send in asks there, or comment on this video. I definitely encourage commenting, comment, subscribe, like all the other big shot YouTubers are doing. That was a joke. That's one thing I wanted to clarify too. I had a few people listen to my previous videos, and I want to clarify that my voice is very deadpan. My voice is very monotone, so when I'm being sarcastic, it might not come across as sarcastic. So if there's something that makes it seem like, oh, this is serious, what's going on? That's not the case. So, like I said, Mr. Lucha, you can call it a gimmick change. It's pretty common in the industry, a gimmick change. So instead of El Truino Gordito, it's Mr. Lucha for a couple of reasons, which are my own. So there. Also, El Trunillo Gordito is really hard to pronounce for someone with as white of an accent as I got. So, Mr. Lucha it is. So this video is about the upcoming potential brand split between Raw and SmackDown. I've seen a lot of articles, I've seen a lot of Facebook reactions to this, and I wanted to give my opinions. And I actually recorded a video already about this, but I feel like I had gotten off a bit too off track, and I really didn't focus my thoughts, so I wanted to give another shot at recording it and kind of be more succinct in what I had to say. So the brand split. As a lot of wrestling fans know, if you're a younger wrestling fan, you might not know this. This isn't the first time they've done this. The first brand split was back when WWE bought out WCW, and ECW had already folded at that point. So there was kind of an alliance. It was WCW and ECW against WWE. And so that was how they kind of ran it, was with the kind of verses. And then I think it was a Survivor Series match that ended up unifying the brands. And then there was a second brand switch, I believe, which seems more close to what's going to be happening soon. But potentially, I don't know if there's actually been an announcement on this. I'm not super up to date, but I believe it's still at the point of being a rumor. But there has been, and my opinion on the brand split, I'll start with that, is that it's a great idea. It is a sincerely good idea. The reasoning is the talent is on TV way too much. The guys that are big are on TV far too often, and they're getting oversaturated. Also, it's a pretty common, well-known fact that the WWE has always succeeded best when it's working against someone. The best content that came up was when the Attitude Era, which my generation remembers. Again, younger wrestling fans might not. I mean, well, with the WWE Network, now $9.99, which I know we're probably all tired of hearing that. With the WWE Network, I'm sure there's a lot of Attitude Era stuff on there. But for those of us who were watching wrestling back then, the stuff was quality. The stuff was really good. It was real. I mean, I say real. It's still real to me, damn it. I say real. I mean in the sense that there was weight to it. It didn't feel like gimmicks. It felt like real dudes going out there and beating the crap out of each other. Whereas now, it's almost like, I've always said this about fashion or tastes in media. Everything's a circle. So nowadays you have people dressing like they're in the 80s or 70s or whatever it is now. Everything switches, and we're starting to sink back into that gimmick era. Not that that's a bad thing. I want to clarify. You have guys like New Day who are really kind of owning it, and huge fans of the New Day, by the way. I think they're great. You have the Vaudevillains who are owning it. But I think that we lost. It's almost in a sense of a complacency. WWE has gotten very complacent in what they have. They have a 3-hour Raw, they have a 2-hour SmackDown, and they're just kind of doing whatever they need to do to make money. And there's no sense of, oh no, this person's coming up on the horizon. Because no offense to TNA, no offense to Lucha Underground, but everybody knows they're not a real threat to the WWE. They're not. They're not a real threat. They're not someone that Vince McMahon feels that he needs to compete with. He knows they exist, and he's honestly just been picking talent from TNA, and to a lesser extent Lucha. I mean, Alberto Del Rio kind of zipped over to Lucha for a season and a half, or a half a season, or whatever it was, and then zipped back to WWE, where he's really kind of being underutilized. I think, really quick segue, I'm not going to go far into this, I think Alberto should have stayed in Lucha Underground, gotten way hotter, and then come back. I think he cut it way too soon. But then again, I don't know what the paychecks look like at Lucha Underground. Maybe Alberto was getting paid peanuts, so I can't tell you. Or what Alberto could have done is gone back to Mexico and gotten hot and come back. But that's neither here nor there. I could do an entire podcast on Alberto Del Rio and his choices and yada yada. But what I will say is, if they do the brand split right, let me try that again. If they do the brand split correctly, and they split the talent, they don't make it seem like it's not serious. What I mean by that is, if they're going to split up the brands and have SmackDown guys and Raw guys need to stay on Raw, SmackDown guys need to stay on SmackDown. That's it. Game over. If they want to have the big pay-per-views like Royal Rumble and WrestleMania be a mix, that's fine. But for the most part, they need to keep the stuff separate. They need to treat SmackDown and Raw like they've been treating NXT. Maybe even to a stronger extent, because I know some NXT guys leak onto Raw or leak onto SmackDown, which is fine. It's different in the sense that NXT is supposed to be this proving ground, and you get the guys up, that's completely different. But when it comes to Raw and SmackDown, they need to keep them separate, and they need to make sure the talent's balanced. What my opinion is that if they're going to do a brand split, they should probably pick a show that has all the, I'm going to call them divas, because I don't know what the term is now. It used to be divas. I think it could be female wrestlers. I'll call them female wrestlers. I don't want to say divas and then get flack for it. They take the female competitors and have them be on one show. Then I think they should take the entire tag team division and put them on a different show. Because as of this point in time, I don't think either of those divisions have enough talent to be split without drying up. And I don't want to see them starting to slap together tag teams like Evan Bourne and Kofi Kingston. Air Boom. It was a clever idea, but they were just grabbing two dudes, slapping them together in a tag team. I don't want that. I want developed tag teams. I want people that make sense when they're together. I don't need Jericho. I don't need rated Y2J. No offense to Chris Jericho. He could work with a stick and make it sing. But I want legitimacy, and I want the talent not to dry out. So that's my opinion. I hope they do it. If they do a brand split, I hope it's not just part of a gimmick where Shane and Stephanie end up fighting Cat the Dog, and then they do a Survivor Series, and then it's over. I hope it's not a gimmick. I hope it's a real thing where they split and they try to make... I would love to see Triple H take over like a SmackDown, the way he's done with NXT. Sorry. For the fun fact, for those listening at home, NXT used to be Next, which was like that weird kind of Tough Enough spoof reality show thing they did. Now it's called NXT. I want to see Triple H do what he did with NXT with like SmackDown. Give him SmackDown and then let Vince keep Raw. And give each show a different feel. Give each show a different look and really separate it. And then that way, and I know it's tough, because by doing that, you're going to split your audience, but you're also going to be appealing to two very big parts of your audience, which is the guys like me, who have been watching since they were kids in the Attitude Era, and then you're going to get the people that are watching now for your John Cena's, and your Roman Reigns, and all those, and your Dean Ambroses. So I think if you could do it successfully, and you could really develop each show into its own entity, it'll be a great move for the company. I think if they play it light and don't take it seriously, it's not going to work and no one's going to believe it. That's my opinion. I'm sticking to it. So I'm going to wrap this up. Like I said, if you guys have any questions, please like, comment, subscribe. I'd love to hear comments. I would love to answer any questions or take any suggestions for the next show. And I also want to thank everybody who watches. It means a lot. I know this show's kind of rinky-dink, and I know it's like, why am I watching a YouTube video with no video? Well, hopefully you just kind of sit back and you're doing something and listen to me talk and maybe like my opinions or don't like my opinions. If you hate my opinions, I want to know, man. I want you to comment and tell me what a horrible person I am, how I'm wrong. I want to hear it because I want to know what opinions are out there. So do me a favor, if you enjoyed this video, like I said, like, comment, and subscribe, leave a comment, and I will see you guys next week. I'm going to try to be really consistent about a weekly upload schedule, so hopefully you guys enjoy that and appreciate a weekly upload schedule. So I will see everybody next week. Have a great night.